Hey guys, and welcome to the Game Code. I'm your host, Adam Morehouse, and we've got all the good stuff in the gaming industry lined up for you this week. Let's take a look. We're at High Tide Throwdown in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia for one of the biggest fighting game tournaments in Atlantic Canada. Joe Allen joins us in studio to talk about Magic the Gathering and test his gaming knowledge in our new trivia segment.
I'm Simon Cadet. We're at High Tide Throwdown 2014, and you are watching the Game Code. Well, I'm one of the chief organizers here at High Tide Throwdown 2014. It's a fighting game tournament for all the maritime provinces. And Newfoundland came out this time too, so it's the Atlantic provinces. Every 6 months or so we get together here in Halifax, and everyone from all the provinces wants to get together and prove who's the best. There's a lot of inter-province rivalries that we can't settle from far away, so we all get together to fight it out here in every game we can think of. Well, today we've got Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasma, and we ran Persona 4 Arena, which is the last time we're probably ever going to run that. Tekken Tag 2 was here. We ran Killer Instinct and Arcade Edition 2012, last tournament for that one too. Probably never again. And then we also are running right now Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Well, the name High Tide Throwdown came around. We were brainstorming. We were thinking fighting games are very much like wrestling events. You know, it's a lot of clashing of personalities and stuff like that. So we wanted to evoke that, and then we wanted to evoke also that it was a maritime event. So we went with High Tide, and then Throwdown's very, very wrestling-y. So, you know, nice three-word event, sounds like a pay-per-view or something like that. So that's how it came about. It's really exciting to get together and play like this because unlike some other games, fighting games don't really get played well over the internet. You know, there's always complicated factors. You know, there's very tight execution in these games, so you don't really get the same experience as you do sitting right beside someone playing with them. And you also don't get like people blowing up at each other, all the drama and personality of the event. There's nothing like just beating someone and standing up and really smugly shaking their hand and walking off. You know, you can't get that online, so you just have to do it. For most modern games, it's not the biggest deal whether or not you use an arcade stick or a regular controller. They're all kind of designed with one in mind. Some have different advantages. It's easier to hit multiple buttons on an arcade stick, but it's quicker to use your thumb to move the stick around for directional inputs. So there's kind of pros and cons for each. A lot of people like to use arcade sticks though, because you get to customize them, put art, grab your name, make sure everyone knows it's yours. So there's a little bit of bling to it. And then it makes you feel special sitting down with the big stick on your lap like you're in an arcade, and everyone else is just kind of looking at how cool it is. You know, but from a functional perspective, they're mostly identical these days. Well, you know, you always got to give a big shout out to the big guys like Adam Perry. He runs the Last Game Store. He's one of the first fighting game guys around, got us all together. And of course there's Mike Daniels and his always trusty second in command, Ryan Clancy. Those guys always put these big events together. We wouldn't do anything without them. I've got my compatriot Katie, who helps run Halifax Blaze Blue. And then, you know, there's John Perry, always the guy who runs Street Fighter, brings out all his players every single time. And you know, everyone who comes here too, like all the players, everyone who travels from far away, gotta always give those guys a shout out. So I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors for this event, Giant Robot Comics in Dartmouth, Strange Adventures and Quantum Frontier. Those guys all donated a whole bunch of stuff to us. The Last Game Store gave us tons of gear to work with. Those guys are always fantastic. Ralston Arcade, big help running the stream and all of the events here today. We've got Esports Canada and EdmontonGamers.com. Those guys donated even though they're from way far away, so we always are super appreciative of that. And a new startup, HFX Arena. They're this new intergaming startup website that you guys should definitely check out. Just getting started in Halifax, but that's where you're going to be able to find all your info on new Halifax stuff. You can also check out RalstonArcade.com. They run a weekly stream, and you can always find out about Marvel and all the other fighting games through those guys too.
I'm Kimmy Lance. I'm here from High Tide Throwdown, and that's Halifax's fighting game major, and I'm here to teach you Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasma. Well, this one's a two-dimensional fighting game, so it's kind of a little bit like Street Fighter, but the movement is more exciting, I find, and there's a lot more resources to manage, and it's definitely a more wild game. I'd say the easiest characters are probably Ragna and Jin. They're kind of like the Ryu and Ken of Blaze Blue. But I think you could also have a pretty good start with Terumi and Azrael as well. Probably the hardest characters are going to be like Rachel. She has a lot of things to manage, like wind and a frog. And Arakune, he has like lots of bugs and he has to do a lot of setups to get his game started, stuff like that. So BlazBlue is PS3 only right now. It's a little hard to find just because it's not as common as some of the other fighting games, but you should be able to go into pretty much any game store and grab a copy if you're interested in getting started. I really love the fighting game community because it's very welcoming, it's very inviting. There's lots of opportunities for really exciting moments and for the community to get together and share something really special and really big. So it's a great community to be a part of.
My name is Remy Casey. My gamer tag is Drift. I'll be teaching you guys about Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Killings. So Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a game for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. The competitive standard tends to be the Xbox version for performance reasons. The game fits mostly in the air dashers category is what we call it. There's a lot of air mobility, air movement, and there's also very heavy roots in the Versus series from Capcom. What stands out the most about Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is the pace, the frenetic pace. Due to the fact that you pick multiple characters and they're all active in the battlefield at the same time and can assist each other in various ways, it makes the pace very frenetic. No other game has that kind of pacing. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 also represents a lot of very loved characters in just the nerd culture in general. Like, you have all your Marvel heroes, your Wolverines, your Magnetos, Doctor Doom. They're actually all pretty good and represent the tournament scene as well. So it's definitely one of the most interesting games in terms of cast and for the characters and the variants from the Capcom side. A lot of characters from Devil May Cry series, Street Fighter series, pretty much anything under the sun for Capcom as well. What I love most about Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is that you get to be creative in how you construct your team and how you construct your combos and your strategies. There's a lot of leeway. The same character can be very different strategy form depending on who the other characters picked for assists are. There's a lot of variants. Like you can play the game for a long time and never run into the same type of configuration. Easy character to begin with would be Wolverine. He's very popular, very high damage, very quick, very simple combos, very easy to understand how he mixes up the opponent. The character that would be the hardest to play, Sea Viper would probably be one of the hardest to play because she has a lot of mechanics that no other character has. She has these different combos that are very unique and the execution is very high. Like, you need very good mastery of the inputs to be able to play her well. What I love most about fighting game community would be the competitive aspect, the competitive spirit. People are trying to get better. We started the scene, like for myself anyhow, I came into contact with the scene a couple years ago and the level of play since then has just grown exponentially. It's exploded and it's amazing to see. So Killer Instinct is a one-on-one fighting game for the Xbox One. It's closest in background. It's almost an amalgamation of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat more for the aesthetics and Street Fighter more for the fighting systems. What differentiates Killer Instincts from other fighting games is mostly that it gives the tools for players to play mind games on each other very early. There's a lot less subtleties in the way between two players playing mind games on each other. They can counter each other's combos, they can bait each other's counters to each other's combos, and it already starts looping and going very deep into mind games very early. In Killer Instinct, a hard character to master would be Spinal. He's very setup heavy, very dependent on spacing and knowing exactly what your opponent's options are and how you take them away. An easy character to start with would have to be Jago. He has all the tools to deal with any situation. He's based on an archetype like Ryu, very easy to understand if you've played Street Fighter before. And yeah, he has no real weakness.
If you want to come to Street Fighter Monday, it's at the Last Game Store, 278 Lacewood Drive in Halifax, every Monday from 7 to 10:30, and you can reach us on Facebook at Street Fighter Halifax.
In first place, your champion Don Con with $390.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, we've got our interview with Joe Allen, owner of Games People Play. It's going to be good. Stay tuned.